Hey everybody, how are we all doing? I'm going to do a part review for Nick Michael's new part in the Vans Nice to See You video. I'll do also a quick overview about the whole video itself. Originally this week I was like, I'm going to do a retro review for Ryan Sheckler in Almost Round 3, but I watched the part again and it wasn't really as moving as it was when I was a child. I think it would be an interesting piece to an entire video about Ryan Sheckler, but on its own, I don't really think there's a whole lot there. I decided to keep things current this week, and there was a fair bit of skating that came out. That Vincent Navacrew video, which that was long, but yeah, I thought the Vans video had the best stuff in it, and after I watched the video, I was like, I'll just review my favorite part from this. And my favorite part in this video was Nick Michael's part. Juxtaposing it against Chima's part, there's sort of some interesting things to glean from both. I think this Chima part was really good. He does some huge stuff from a technical standpoint and just, traditional skateboarding wise. It's very impressive and solid, great skateboarding. But I found myself kind of being bored during this video, and that might be a bit of a hot take. I know Chima's a really good skateboarder. This could be just as somebody who watches videos like all the time, watches so much skateboarding. I think what I desire as a skateboarding viewer is something a little bit more creative, other than doing flip tricks down big sets of stairs, no matter how big those stair sets are. The lack of variety sort of wore on me. And I mean, look, the stuff he's doing is clearly huge. It's really impressive, and he deserves, to be pro and to have a great contract with Vans and all of that. He is a good professional skateboarder. I kind of got bored of this, and I'm not saying I didn't like every trick in here. Just overall, the product of it, and with these line sequences too, that were just sort of a little bit boring to me. And it has that same problem of like the polished Vans corporate type of video with this kind of B-roll where they just have the guy stand in front of the camera and do something silly. So, I'm not trying to shade Chima here. I know he's a great skater and a lot of people are really into his skating. It just felt like not my thing. And that's just what I'm going to say, because I'm going to be covering the other sections of this video briefly. I liked what they did with this video, which is they sort of broke it into some sections, and it had like a very good international feel to it. You have your Australian section, Ronnie Sandoval, who had a good part. Ronnie Sandoval had some good ending tricks. The ender, the last trick especially, was really gnarly. This right here, I mean, this is one of the gnarliest things I've seen all year, and it was great. There's a lot of talk about Ronnie Sandoval, Sodi, and I'm not near that with this part. If there were like 4 maybe tricks of this caliber, then yeah, I could definitely, see some Sodi potential there, but I don't think that it really is, like, realistically is in the top 10 for Sodi currently. And then we had 2 great sections here. Alexei Krasny, I'm not sure how you say that, but this was a really good part. Interesting spots. His front nose was sick. And then this guy, who I had never heard of, but is a mega Chad, Notice Agelis. He looks like a European Ave, and he does a lot of interesting stuff with trees. Got a hippie jump Wally. So I thought this video part was really excellent too. The Japanese dudes are like, a lot of them are really into tucking their shirt in. This guy especially is a chronic shirt tucker. It must be a cultural difference that, tucking your shirt is cool there right now. Anyway, then you had your Dustin Henry. All these videos sort of had like a song accompanying them that was originating from whatever country that they were skating in. Dustin Henry, Canadian skater. I think he's a native Canadian, so he's got, sort of that Canadian or, Indian. That's what, people incorrectly call it in America. Hey ya hey. Unfortunately, I did take a closer look at this manual, and I think that there are some issues. Listen, Dustin Henry's incredible skateboarder. I like what he does with his grip tape, by the way. He cuts off the edges of it, the tech grip. But This is like, I was talking to Twitch chat about this. What are the rules really if your wheels are touching but you don't have control over the board yet? Because I also have a clip like this.
Bruh.
And I really don't want to fucking go back and do it. Mine's not quite as egregious as this. It's really barely even noticeable, but I mean, is this a violation? We sort of came to terms like, yes, it sort of is a violation. His foot is on the board and all four wheels are touching, so it's like that should kind of be like the end of the manual, right? It should end there. So Dustin Henry, incredible manuals, but I'm not sure how this one made it through. And in real time, it doesn't look much better. Maybe he's okay with it because I guess it's not like a solo part. It's part of like a Vans thing, but Diego Todd and Pedro Delfino, another great section. And then I think this is like a Taiwanese skateboarder, Wang Guha. I'll get the info on that. Brianna's part, pretty good. You know, I didn't have super high expectations for this, I'm not gonna lie, but I ended up really enjoying it. Pretty strong fits in here. And she does get a little bit technical as well too. And to be completely honest, I wasn't super familiar with her skating, but I was pleasantly surprised by this video part. I thought it was pretty well put together. I am a little bit of a fan now. She's kind of got like a little Frankie thing going here. The PewDiePie socks and the colored wheels there. Then you have the Chima Ferguson part, which, you know, I talked about. Now we've got the general thing covered. We can watch this Nick Michael part now. Funny quick thing about this before I get started. I'm loosely related to this in like this roundabout stupid way, but Jesse Alba was one of like the first people to get into my YouTube videos, and he had mentioned back when I was 1-800-Nipples, when I did my Ben Cato video was around the time, I guess, Jesse Alba interviewed Nick Michael for Thrasher, and he said, referencing this upcoming part, Jesse Alba said, hey, do you think 1-800-Nipples is going to review your video part? Nick Michael said something along the lines of, oh yeah, I saw that Ben Cato video and I recommended it was like 25 minutes long. What the hell is up with that guy, or something like that, which was funny. I was like, I guess my content, you know, it's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to hear somebody pause a YouTube video and talk about it for 25 minutes, but I didn't even think I'd end up reviewing this video part, but I guess I'm gonna do it. What goes around comes around, I suppose. Got a nice opening sequence here, skating pretty fast. And this is really just sort of like a filler, I think, so the song can like fit appropriately with the amount of clips they had. That's what I'm guessing. As you can see, we're in LA. We got this 50-50 grind on like the freeway bumper, and there's some sussy stuff going on over here with this pole and Nick's backside. You can't bend your knees too much on this 50-50 or something unsavory is gonna happen. But there's a lot of this crusty LA hill bombing type of stuff in this video. Nice backside flip. And then this backboard, there's not a lot of handrail skating in this video, but the handrail skating that does take place, except for one rail, which we will see later, all of it's got a reason that he's like skating handrails. He always finds a way to make things interesting. You know, he's skating in front of a Freemasonry temple, I think, so that's a little bit ballsy. I wouldn't do that. Might get put in the basement. It's like a sideways roll up and then holds it through, you know, like a double kink situation, which I think was pretty cool. The relationship between like a bad run up and like holding a backside board slide through a double kink made for a pretty nice clip. Yeah, frontside ollie into this, you know, some shitty LA thing that he makes look pretty good. This again, more crusty back alley LA shit. And I appreciate, you know, with how blown out LA is, that Nick Michael finds a way to revitalize it and make it look interesting, find new spots and skate them in a way that's not just tragically boring, because there is an issue right now with LA skating and it just sort of all looking the same because everybody skates the same spots. But Nick Michael, it looks like he has his eyes peeled for shit that other people are not skating, which I think is really sick. And this was a great ollie, like over the little stairs here down into this like extremely janky concrete hill structure. And I like this top angle, but I would have liked to see this ollie from this side as well. This boneless was performed by Jackie, who I did a little bit of research, is actually Nick's sister, which is what I had presumed based off the similarities in the facial structure. I had no idea Nick Michael had a sister and that she was a good skateboarder. I mean, this was a proper boneless. This was no bullshit. Nice extension there. Gorgeous. When I talk about the handrails that he chooses to skate, there's always, you know, something interesting about them. There's a lot of like this back alley dingy apartment complex, you know, skating that he does, and this is another great example of that, which is, you know, if you were just to do like a front lip on your, you know, standard handrail, it'd be pretty fucking boring. But because of the location of this and how sort of jank it is, it's sick. He like is focusing a lot of his energy into these spots that I think most people probably would not notice. Very smooth. I mean, showing off some of his transition skills. I think Nick is like a very talented skater and probably could have taken his career in any like direction that he wanted to, but I'm glad that he like landed in the area that he did. The natural talent is evidenced by, you know, clips like this where you see how good he is on a variety of obstacles. This is my favorite clip in the video. Ollies onto the roof, turns around, and lands on top of this like mailbox pillar thing, which is already psycho enough, and then completes it by dropping into a dirt hill. So like threading the needle and finding this kind of like spot that I think, you know, most people would have no idea what to do with. Clearly there's some kind of option here with the way that this stair set leads onto this roof, but then to decide to jump on top of this thing and then go into the dirt hill, extremely creative problem solving combined with Nick's style. I think this was really excellent, because he's a creative skateboarder, but he doesn't like just rest on that. He still does very gnarly shit. He seems to have an affinity for the crust. This spot too is pretty blown out at this point, but a nice tab, hill bomb, switch hill bomb that he eats shit on. Very nice front blend. Nose grind on that green bench everyone's skating. I was kind of confused by this at first. I wasn't entirely sure what had happened, but he goes with the pole jam and then little nose grind bonk on the rail up here, and then takes his foot off, which, you know, it's debatable whether he did that on purpose. I think that he did. So what you end up getting is pole jam, nose bonk, 1 foot, which, you know, whether it was on purpose or not is a really sick sequence. It even sounds good saying it out loud. Watch it in real time again. Very cool. I like that a lot. Again, you know, as blown out as LA is, he's still, you know, he finds a way to make new things happen. This nice 50 on the dumpster. This is a good time to talk about the song choice for this video. The song's by Sunny Day Real Estate, About an Angel. I'm not familiar with this band, but I think it went really well. It's like there's some drama to it, but it's overall like a pretty mellow song. But I think that it's well edited with the video, and, you know, at the points like this, This video's got great highs and great points of drama. With this back blunt, you don't have any idea about what's to come, and with the vocals like hitting their apex while he's bombing the hill, I think it makes for like a very powerful cinematic moment. And it was really gnarly. More hill bombing. He's really into hill bombing stuff, it seems. Wally back lip, he just floats on that. Makes it look super easy. Another handrail clip, but there's some added interest to it. Extends his front lip onto this light pole. I think it came out sick. I saw the photo version of this, and I think the photos looked better, but still, I think this, this trick fits really well with the theme of this video part. And it looks like it was untouched, so he's probably the first person to hit this. This was sick too. I haven't seen this before. Empty fountain. I guess they'll probably put a gate here to try to stop people from skating it. Ironically, it just sort of adds to the interest of the obstacle and makes a new challenge. Sneaks an ollie in over it. More like back alley, LA, apartment, or home front skating. And I sort of like dismissed this clip on first watch, but it's actually pretty gnarly. What he lands in is quite narrow, and it's short, so if you miss, you're definitely gonna get smoked. This one too, there's a lot that you can miss about this, which is, it's quite narrow. For sure can hit your knees on this thing. This is one of the drawbacks of the really zoomed in style that everybody's using these days. You can kind of like forget about what happened in the beginning of the trick, but he's really high up here. And he has to make an early dismount because there's this post box in the way. So I thought that was a cool clip. I think it's a dope thing to skate. Like, just driving past that probably and being like, fuck, I should kickflip into that and ollie out. It's engaging and it's refreshing skateboarding. This is sick as well. Across, and then this looks pretty huge. Hitting the 5-0 and then going to fakie. Showing off more of that transition skill and how it translates into street skating. Nice tail slide. Another tail slide. And this thing is huge. Like, he doesn't really make it look that big, but this thing is fucking massive. Like, this would be a frightening thing to try to skate. And then this is like, I guess the tail slide and this Smith are like the only really like normal handrail clips. And that's all right. The vast majority of this video part, I think, is really interesting, but you gotta, I guess, have some filler in somewhere. Wooden hubba 50. Then the tetanus 50-50. I don't even know what this is, like some kind of power plant or some shit. But a pretty psycho rail to skate. Looks like your average handrail, but I think that he makes the most of it for sure with this back feeble, where he's, hanging his truck obviously on the other side and then avoids the little out part right here. So nice trick selection, and even making the most out of sort of what I would describe as kind of a boring obstacle. This was sick. It was huge. And hits him with the ender, which is the please sack me 5,000, ollieing over this rail, and then landing on this rail, which is huge. I mean, it's so much weight, but he's got the finesse to pull something like this off. I mean, this is a fucking stunt and a half. Really, really high-level skateboarding. So, overall, my impressions about this part, you can see he's got a variety of different skills, and he's totally capable of getting really bucked. But I appreciate, like, how he sort of seems reserved, even though I know he's trying hard for these tricks. He seems like very reserved about his skateboarding, and he doesn't seem like he pushes himself to do things that are like unwise. But I think that he proves a lot about himself with a clip like this. This is a good Frog brand booster right here. You know, combining the creativity of a Frog, you know, type of skateboarder, but also getting pretty fucking buck in some points like this. So I'll give you my Fantano impression here. I'm feeling an 8.5 out of 10, and I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Making LA look new again. I like it. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace.